Welcome to MCCT, Microcrawler Capability Test. That's where we test and compare the driving performance and capability of micro trucks and microcrawlers from 1 to 18th to 1 to 24th scale. Trucks in stock condition as well as highly modified and upgraded ones. The trucks have to pass through 10 different tests. We'll get either points for their results or their performance will be graded. And the final scores will reveal the most capable microcrawlers. We check their climbing ability, descent performance, their tilt angle, their performance in overcoming easy and difficult obstacles, and their low speed modulation and low speed driving performance. Check the description for details of tests, scores, and mode of grading. Now let's start and present this episode's test trucks. In MCCT episode 34 we will test the Axial AX24 XC-1 and the SCX24 LaL. LaL stands for low and light. The Axial AX24 XC-1 has a wheelbase of 135 mm and a weight of 231 grams. It runs on Rock Lizard tires with 60 by 22 mm, has a 0-30 motor, 4-wheel steering, and runs on a 2S LiPo battery with 350 mAh. The SCX24 Low and Light has a wheelbase of 135 mm and a weight of 296 grams. It runs on RC 4-wheel drive Mickey Thompson Baja Claw tires with 51 by 20 mm, has a 0-30 Mofo Torque Beast 30 motor, and runs on a 2S 260 mAh LiPo. It has carbon frame rails, high clearance links, overdrive, and runs on an AX612 RW Easy ESC, a high voltage servo, and with a FlySky R4M micro receiver. Electronics are directly powered by the 2S LiPo battery. It doesn't have a PEC. And now let's check how those trucks perform. Test number 1. Climb on a rough surface. 45 degrees, no problem for both trucks. 48 degrees. The AX24 is already lifting its front tire, its left front tire. Struggling, but it can do it. And 49 degrees. It's tipping over. 49 degrees, come on. Come on. The super weak servo on the rear axle for 4-wheel steering is a big downside here. It doesn't keep the rear axle or the rear wheels straight, and it's tipping over. No problem at all for the SCX24 LaL, and 55 degrees, super steep. No problem for the SCX24 Low and Light. 58 degrees, that's super steep, but it can do it. 59 degrees, it's in troubles now, it's really struggling. Come on, but it can do 59 degrees, wow. And 60 degrees, that's the best result we have seen so far in MCCT. It's tipping over, come on. Come on. That's super steep. Again, tipping over. Come on. Yes, come on. Come on. Hey. Tipping over again. Now it will be able to do it. Come on, get to the top. Falling again. Last try. Come on. 60 degrees. That's super steep. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, no. It falls again. Okay, one last try. Come on. Come on. And now? Come on, get to the very last try now. Come on. And this time, yes, it could do 60 degrees. Wow. Wow. Thumbs up. And 61 degrees. This would be a new best result in test number 1. But this seems to be too much. It's tipping over. Here the results of test number 1. Climb on a rough surface. The Axial AX24, 48 degrees and 3 points for this. And the SCX24 low and light, 60 degrees. Awesome result. And 15 points for this. And under 55 trucks tested so far, that's place 1 for the SCX24 LaL with 60 degrees, a shared place 1 with the FMS Toyota Hilux, and a shared place 36 for the Axial AX24 with 48 degrees. And now let's see how they do on a smooth surface. Test number 2. Climb on a smooth surface. And the AX24 is already struggling at 45 degrees. That's only 45 degrees. Come on. It's super hard to control or even uncontrollable. Tires not creepy at all. Wow, that's a big negative surprise. Finally, after a lot of tries, it's able to do only 45 degrees. No problem for the SCX24 LaL. And 46 degrees for the AX24. Come on, that's not steep at all. Normally most trucks can do nearly the same incline on a smooth surface they can do on a rough surface, but not the AX24. Super bad tires probably. No problem 46 degrees. No problem 50 degrees for the SCX24. 55 degrees, already super steep, but still can do it. 58 degrees. It's lifting its left front tire. It's slipping, but finally not a big problem. Can do 58 degrees, wow. And 59 degrees. That's super steep. Come on. Wow. And it even could do 59 degrees. 60 degrees. Now it's struggling. That's the maximum it could do on a rough surface, but on a smooth surface it's in troubles. Come on. But 60 degrees, finally too much, also for the SCX24 LaL. And here the results of test 2, climb on a smooth surface. The Axial AX24, only 45 degrees. A big disappointment here, and 0 points for this. And the SCX24 LaL, 59 degrees and 14 points for this. Really top result. And under 55 trucks tested so far, that's place 2, a shared place 2 for the SCX24 LaL, and only place 51 for the Axial AX24. And now let's check how those trucks can go down, stop and go up in reverse again. Test number 3, going down, stop and go up in reverse again. 45 degrees, not a big problem for the AX24 and no problem at all for the SCX24. 48 degrees. Wow. The AX24 is already struggling, lifting its rear tire, but still can do it. And 49 degrees, it falls. Come on. Come on, 49 degrees, but that's too steep. No problem at all for the SCX24. 54 degrees, that's already really steep. But not a big problem for the SCX24 LaL. And 55 degrees, it can stop. That's no problem, but it lifts its tires. It's not really controllable. And finally it tips over. Come on. Come on. Seems to be able to do it, but lifts its rear tires and tips over again and again. One last try. Come on. But no. 55 degrees too much for the SCX24. And here are the results of test number 3. Descent 48 degrees and 1.5 points for the Axial AX24 and 54 degrees and 4.5 points for the SCX24 LaL. And under 55 trucks tested so far, that's place 6 for the SCX24 LaL and a shared place 31 for the Axial AX24. And now let's check the tilt angles of those trucks. Test number 4, tilt angle to the left, 40 degrees for the AX24 and 50.25 degrees for the SCX24. Test 5 to the left, 39.5, 49.55 degrees for the SCX24. And here are the results of tests 4 and 5. Tilt angle to the left and to the right. The Axial AX24, 40 degrees to the left and 4 points for this. And 39.5 degrees to the right and 3.75 points for this. And the SCX24 LaL, 50.25 degrees to the left and 9.13 points for this, and 49.55 to the right and 8.78 points for this. And under 55 trucks tested so far, that's place 1 for the SCX24 LaL. That's the top result so far. Thumbs up. And place 33, a shared place 33 for the Axial AX24. And now let's check how those trucks can climb. Test number 6, the flat side of the hill of branches, no problem for both trucks. Easy. And 2 out of 2 points for both in test number 6, the flat side of the hill of branches. Test number 7. The steep side of the hill of branches. Probably the most difficult obstacle of MCCT, or the most difficult test, and the AX24 is struggling hard. The weak servo on the rear axle is a disadvantage here too. Non-grippy tires at all and a high center of gravity. It's tipping over in first, second and third gear. Slow and fast. Come on. Will you be able to do it? No. So no chance for the AX24 here. And for the SCX24 LaL, that's not a big problem. It has tiny tires, which are for sure a disadvantage here, but there is no danger of tipping over. Little bit larger tires would make the performance probably even better here, but check this out. Really awesome performance and not a big problem. And here the results of test number 7, the steep side of the hill of branches. The Axial AX24 unfortunately could not do it, so 0 points. And the SCX24 LaL gets 8 out of 10 points in test number 7. Test number 8, the flat side of the hill of pebblestones. No problem at all for the AX24. And also no problem at all for the SCX24. So 2 out of 2 points here for both trucks in test number 8, the flat side of the hill of pebblestones. Test number 9, the steep side of the hill of pebblestones. Super difficult test and obstacle, and the AX24 is really struggling. It's doing super hard, the combination of weak rear axle because of rear steer and weak servo, bad tires and quite high center of gravity. If it manages to do this first step, then the poor tires slipping, and then it could do it. Unbelievable, because this was the only successful try the AX24 did. Probably 50-70 tries and one single successful try. The SCX24 LaL, in contrary, has tiny tires, but those Mickey Thompson Baja Claw are quite good. And it's doing hard to do this first step, but then it's super controllable. Low center of gravity, good tires and super smooth low speed modulation. So it's not perfect, because with larger tires it would be probably easier for it, but check this out. It's slipping, and it falls. So not every try is successful, but nearly every try. It's slipping, check this out, but it's not falling, it manages to recover. Here, this situation, probably every truck tried or tested so far in MCCT would have fallen here. But the SCX24 LaL manages to recover. Wow! So here the results of test number 9, the steep side of the hill of pebblestones, the Axial AX24, one single successful trial. So normally you would say it's not able to do it, but it did it in front of camera, but only 0.5 out of 10 points here. And the SCX24 LaL was super good here. It was struggling, but nearly no failures. It was not perfect, but it was able to do it nearly every try. So 8 out of 10 points here for the SCX24 LaL. And we come to the last test of MCCT. Low speed modulation, low speed performance. The AX24 has 3 electronically controlled gears here in first gear. It's really noisy, but we do not judge noise here. but it's not really able to go slowly. Modulation is not super bad, but modulation of the SCX24 V2 with the blue electronics was much better. Here in second gear, it's more as the modulation of the old SCX24s with V1 electronics, and it's noisy, so V2 electronics was much better, the ESC was much better. Third gear, it's really hard to go slow with this truck. Not super bad, but way from really good here. First gear again. And the SCX24 LaL with the AX24 ESC, this awesome tiny ESC has awesome low speed modulation. However, it's not as butter smooth as it is in SCX24's V1 with this ESC. Maybe that's because of the overdrive, maybe because of the metal gears in the transmission or the drive shafts. It's really good, super controllable. But in SCX24's V1 with stock transmission and shafts, it's even a bit smoother. So here the results of test number 10, low speed performance and modulation. The Axial AX24 gets 2 out of 5 points here, and the SCX24 LaL with the AS12-6RW ESC gets 3.5 out of 5 points. And we come to the final score of MCCT episode 34. The Axial AX24 and the SCX24 low and light. Here again, all 10 tests performed and all points gained, and we see the Axial AX24 is not good in any test. The results of this truck are a big disappointment. It doesn't have really strong points. It has four-wheel steering, but this is a big disadvantage in going upwards. Very strange result in test number 2. Climb on a smooth surface. Tires super bad, and four-wheel steering was a disadvantage here. It also did super hard in tests number 7 and 9. It couldn't do test number 7, the steep side of the hill of branches, and in test number 9, the steep side of the hill of pebblestones. It only had one successful try amongst countless failures. So the results of the AX24 are a big disappointment. All in all, it gains 18.75 points and failed in one test. The SCX24 low and light, in contrary, is awesome. Those results are super good. It doesn't have any weak points. It shows top results in tests 1, 2, also in 3 it was good. Best results seen so far in tilt angle tests 4 and 5, and in the super difficult obstacles, the steep sides of the hill of branches and hill of pebblestones, it was also really good. Additionally, awesome, very good low speed modulation. So this is a sum of 74.91 points. Awesome. And out of 55 trucks tested so far, we see the SCX24 low and light is the new best truck tested so far. It has 10 points more than number 2, the old number 1, the SCX24 Betty modified. So absolutely awesome. 74.91 points. Fantastic, absolutely awesome performing truck. And the AX24 with 18.75 points and one test failed takes place 36 out of 55 trucks tested so far. So that's a disappointment because this truck should be a crawler. Only four-wheel steering doesn't necessarily make it better. It clearly needs upgrades. Out of 55 trucks tested so far, 44 were stock trucks, not modified. And here the Axial AX24 takes only place 25 out of 44 stock trucks. So there are a lot of microcrawlers out there that perform much better out of the box. And that's it for MCCT episode 34. But watch out for the next episode of MCCT. There are still a lot of trucks to be tested. MCCT will be